Onilu withdraws from Kwara 2027 governorship race, urges other APC aspirants to work together. Kwara NSCDC deploys 2,280 personnel ahead of Easter celebration. On the foreign scene, U.S. lifts sanctions on Venezuela's interim president, Rodriguez. And in sports news, National Sports Commission unveils Team Nigeria ambassadors ahead of 2026 Commonwealth Games. Good afternoon and thank you for staying with us in Diamond 88.7 FM. Lori, this is the news on the hour. I am Bisola Oduwole Suleiman. We'll bring you details of the news after this break. Please stay with us.
We often think that mental health breakdowns sound like this.
I'm emotionally stressed. I'm emotionally downcast. I am so confused of all about life.
But in reality, they can sound like this. Don't make assumptions that people are okay just because they laugh and they smile. Everyone is going through something. Check on your friends and be kind to everyone else.
This message is reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM, Ilorin.
Welcome back from that break. Please note that you can listen to us via our website, www.diamondfm.net, or watch us live on Facebook at Diamond 87 FM and YouTube Diamond FM Ilorin. Now the news in detail. The World Bank says it has approved the $500 million credit facility for Nigeria through the International Development Association, IDA, to support the implementation of Nigeria's Sustainable Agricultural Value Chains for Growth project, AGRO. In a statement on its website, the bank said the initiative is designed to increase smallholder farmers' productivity, strengthen agricultural value chains, and create jobs. The World Bank added that the initiative will also strengthen agricultural research and extension services, expand access to improved and climate-resilient seeds, and establish a national digital farm and farmer registry. The Senator David Mark-led African Democratic Congress, ADC, has faulted the interpretation of a recent Court of Appeal ruling by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in the ongoing leadership dispute within the party. In a statement issued on Wednesday, the party's National Publicity Secretary, Bolaji Abdullahi, accused the electoral body of yielding to political pressure. He described INEC's statement as inconsistent, arguing that it contradicts both facts and logic. Abdullahi further alleged that the INEC's position was influenced by a government unsettled by the ADC's growing influence, despite what he described as sustained efforts to weaken opposition parties and impose a one-party system. The ADC spokesperson added that the party is currently reviewing its options and will communicate its next steps in due course. A former senator representing Kogi West, Senator Dino Melaye, has said the All Progressives Congress, APC, is desperately panicking over defections into the African Democratic Congress, ADC. Melaye made the claim on Thursday while speaking on national television monitored by Diamond FM. He noted that the APC is afraid because the ADC is the only strong opposition that can challenge the ruling party in 2027. Melaye added that President Bola Tinubu wants to be coronated and doesn't want an election. Still on the local scene, former President Goodluck Jonathan has urged the National Assembly to review Nigeria's electoral litigation framework and establish a constitutional court to handle election-related disputes. Jonathan made the call in Abuja on Wednesday during the 70th birthday celebration and the book launch of former Governor of Ogun State, Gbenga Daniel. The former president criticized the current three-tier litigation process for governorship elections, which moves from election tribunals to the Court of Appeal and ultimately the Supreme Court, describing it as ineffective and prolonged. He argued that creating a specialized court would streamline the resolution of electoral cases and reduce the burden on the country's political and judicial systems by limiting such disputes to a single phase. Moving on to news in Kwara State, the Kwara State Primary Healthcare Development Agency has dismissed claims that vaccines administered to children are harmful, describing such reports as false, dangerous and capable of undermining public health efforts. The executive secretary of the agency, Professor Nusirat Elelu, made this known to newsmen, explaining that all vaccines used in the state's immunization programs, including the ongoing polio campaign, are effective, safe and approved by global and national health authorities. Professor Elelu encouraged parents and caregivers to continue presenting their children for vaccination, stressing that refusal poses serious health risk. She added that trained health workers have been deployed across all 16 local government areas to ensure safe vaccination, while urging the public to seek accurate information from verified sources and report concerns to the nearest health facility. The Director General of the National Orientation Agency, NOA, Malam Larry Onilu, has withdrawn from the Kwara State governorship race ahead of the APC primary election for the gubernatorial seat in 2027, urging all aspirants to unite in support of the former state party chairman, Bashir Omolaja Bolariwa. In a statement issued on Thursday, Onilu said his decision was based on his belief that Bolariwa is best suited to lead the state, citing his role during the Otoge political movement and his contributions to the party's success in the 2019 general elections. He commended the maturity shown by other aspirants, noting that Bolariwa's political experience spans across various roles, including councillor, local government chairman, member of the House of Representatives, and former chairman of the governing board of the National Broadcasting Commission. And lastly, on the local scene, Commandant of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC Kwara State Command, Balabawa Bodinga, has ordered the deployment of 2,280 personnel across all 16 local government areas of the state for the Easter celebration. In a statement by the spokesman of the command, Ayola Michael Shola Ilori on Thursday, Badinga explained that the deployment was designed to preempt potential disruptions of law and order during the Easter festivities and prevent mischief makers from causing mayhem. The commandant also reassured the public that the Corps' presence would be visible and strategic across churches, recreational centres, motor parks, shopping complexes and other critical locations to deter criminal activity and ensuring a safe festive period. And that's it on the local scene. The news on the hour is reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM. Lauren, we take a short break. When we return, U.S. lifts sanctions on Venezuela's interim president, Rodriguez. We bring you that story on the foreign scene and many others after the break. Please stay with us.
Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Diamond 887 FM. Diamond FM, shining supreme.
Welcome back from that break. You're still tuned in and listening to the news on the hour, reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM. Lauren, before that break, we brought you local stories. Now we move on to the foreign scene. The United States on Wednesday lifted sanctions on Venezuela's acting president, Delcy Rodriguez. The Office of the Foreign Assets Control Entry made this known on the website of the U.S. Treasury Department. The newly announced sanctions relief is the latest U.S. recognition of Rodriguez as a legitimate authority in Venezuela ever since the U.S. military captured Nicolas Maduro and his wife on 3rd January in Venezuela's capital, Caracas. While Rodriguez expressed hope for a robust U.S.-Venezuela relation, she said the decision was part of the normalization and strengthening of bilateral relations, which would allow her work more freely with U.S. companies and investors. Still on the foreign scene, Germany has revealed plans to set up a body to repatriate artworks and artifacts as well as human remains acquired in a colonial context. The anticipated Coordination Council for Returns of Cultural Property and Human Remains from Colonial Contexts will include representatives from the central government, the country's 16 states, and various municipalities. According to a statement released by the German Federal Foreign Office, the statement follows a top-level meeting held in Berlin last week, which is against the backdrop of an agreement reached between German states and the central government in 2019. And that's it on the foreign scene. Moving into the world of sports, the National Sports Commission, NSC, has officially unveiled a list of distinguished Team Nigeria ambassadors ahead of the 2026 Commonwealth Games. The list includes prominent figures across sports administration, athletes, representation, and corporate partnership. Among the delegation of ambassadors are Malam Sele Amadu, Dr. Amos Adamu, Chief Patrick Ekeji, Alhassan Yakmut, Benga Elegbeleye, amongst others. The unveiling of Team Nigeria's ambassadors signals a drive by the National Sports Commission to strengthen participation, enhance athlete sports support systems, and to boost Nigeria's global sporting presence. Still in sports news, the Nigeria Premier Football League NPFL has issued a warning to Niger Tornadoes following formal complaints from several clubs and independent observers over their conduct at the Bako Katangora Stadium in Minna. The NPFL cautioned the Ikonala boys concerning their conduct at the ground, where supporters, along with other unauthorized individuals, encroached into restricted areas, disrupted the orderly conduct of matches, and were poorly controlled, resulting in incidents capable of bringing the game to disrepute. The NPFL therefore directed Niger Tornadoes to guarantee that only duly accredited persons gain access to restricted areas, provide adequate security personnel, and properly control supporters at all times before, during, and after matches. And that's it in the world of sport. With that, we've come to the end of the news on the hour for today. But before we go, here is a recap of the major highlights. World Bank approves $500 million credit for Nigeria's smallholder farmers. David Mark-led ADC rejects delisting, accuses INEC of bowing to government's pressure. Onilu withdraws from Kwara 2027 governorship race, urges other APC aspirants to work together. Kwara NSCDC deploys 2,280 personnel ahead of Easter celebration. In foreign news, U.S. lifts sanctions on Venezuela's interim president, Rodriguez. And in sports, National Sports Commission unveils Team Nigeria ambassadors ahead of 2026 Commonwealth Games. Those are the major highlights as brought to you this afternoon. Before we wrap up the news, we take a look at our Today in History segment. Did you know that on this day in the year 1972, Nigeria officially switched from right-hand drive to left-hand drive vehicles, moving traffic to the right side of the road? Now you know. For news coverage or information about happenings around you, kindly contact the Diamond FM newsroom number 091-606-27526, 091-606-27526. Join us at 3 p.m. for the news flash and at 5 p.m. for the news across the world for a comprehensive bulletin. Don't forget to follow all our social media pages to keep up to date with us, or download our app on Google Play Store and iOS Apple Store, Diamond FM. You can also visit our website, www.diamondfm.net, to listen to us from any part of the world. The news on the hour was put together by Nidu Okorie. I am Bisola. Oduwole Suleiman. Thank you for listening to your shining Supreme station. Please stay tuned for the news in Yoruba coming up shortly. Good afternoon.